Model, singer, rapper, and actress Sidney Starr, aka Starlight, posted some photos on Instagram with R. Kelly. You know, the legendary R&B singer R. Kelly, Mr. P on You. So Smelly Kelly, Mr. Piss all in your face and let it drip down like you just got maced, was in a photo with Sidney, and I guess people were talking shit to Sidney because here's what Sidney had to say. Now brace yourself because Sid the Kid had to lay the smackdown on that ass. Sidney said, and I quote, "So here's me and legend singer R. Kelly at R. Kelly, and I just want to say it's so disgusting to see how much hate I'm getting for trying to move my career in the right direction. And I think if anyone knows me, they know I'm from Chicago, and R. Kelly is from Chicago also. Please don't let my past get in the way of me going for positive moves. R. Kelly is a talented, down-to-earth, humble dude. It was a pleasure. I have been in this industry for a very long time, and I've worked very hard to get away from the negativity of the Chingy situation, and I've learned from my mistakes. So let me live, people. Everyone has a past. Don't judge them by that. Positivity is all I'm going for. I'm a openly transgender female, and I don't hide it. Thanks, R. Kelly, for being nice to me. If you guys didn't know, R. Kelly has a transgender son. My career is just beginning, so you either hashtag Team Sidney Starr or not. Kisses and all types of different emojis and stars and shit. Hashtag Sidney Starr breaking barriers. I've come a long way. Hashtag winner circle. Hashtag Team Sidney Starr. God, keep me moving higher and higher. Praying hand emojis. You have me on this earth for a reason, to change lives in a good way. More emojis. Hashtag Team Sidney Starr. End quote. Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't know what Sidney was referring to when it comes to the Chingy situation, basically a rapper named Chingy who was famous, about 10, 11 years ago. He has some really good dance music out, songs like Right There and Holiday Inn and some other hit records. And basically he went triple platinum. At one point he was with Nelly. If I'm not mistaken, he was on Dirty Entertainment. Dirty E&T. That's all we got. And then he went on his own. Actually, he was with Disturbing the Peace for a while, if I'm not mistaken, which is Ludacris's label. But essentially, you know, he had to move on from the situation. Things went sour with Nelly. Not sure what happened with Ludacris, but I think he was signing Ludacris at one point. Anyways, Chingy was one of those type of rappers who wasn't really lyrical or anything like that. He wasn't anything, to speak of as far as actual mic skills, but he made really good, catchy dance tunes. Party music like Jaquan or something like that. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Remember that? Yeah. He made songs like that, in that vein. And he worked with some amazing producers named the Track Stars. Anyway, and they use Emu keyboards and see, I'm getting into too many details. Anyway, back to the goddamn story. The point is that Chingy was photoed with Sidney Starr, and there were some rumors going around that he fucked Sidney Starr, and they say that Sidney Starr was born a guy. We don't really know whether or not that's true. Sidney could be a female who's born a hermaphrodite. They could have assigned the gender male, but come to find out Sidney was always a female anyway. We don't really freaking know. Sidney always looked like a chick, so it's really hard to figure it out. All we know is that Sidney, if I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to this, claimed to fuck Chingy back in the day, which he blames for ruining his career, which of course is bullshit because the industry is ran by homosexuals anyway. I'm not going to get to the whole Illuminati and gay agenda shit in this video, but I will say this. Chingy is full of shit if what I heard is true, which is that he's claiming, my career got derailed because of the transsexual rumors or whatever. Man, fuck out of here. That's bullshit. Your career derailed because you weren't making any more good dance tunes. You didn't have the right production. You weren't writing the right songs or whatever. That's what the issue was. If he put out a really hot record like the Right There record, like right now, that shit will be huge because most of the music right now stinks. Anyways, long story short, people were swearing up and down that Chingy was fucking Sidney. And everybody was like, what the fuck? But that's not what ruined his career. And Sidney came out recently, not that long ago, if I'm not mistaken, and said, no, what was being said in the past was actually not true, because the impression that I got was that Sidney was trying to come up off of Chingy's success. Like, yeah, I fuck Chingy, like everybody look at me, but it didn't work like that. You know what I mean? Like, just because somebody who's a celebrity has some sort of alleged history with you, there's some rumors going around about you two fucking each other, doesn't mean you're going to become famous off of that. I mean, if they were white, maybe that would work. But as far as black folks are concerned, you better have something more that you're bringing to the table. But anyways, at the end of the day, if people are fucking with Sidney because Sidney is working with R. Kelly, they need to just mind their own business. Unless you're telling Sidney, no, R. Kelly's not the one to work with because he has a bad reputation. If you think about it, Sidney's reputation really isn't that bad because all that shit that was going on with Chingy happened so long ago, a lot of people don't even know Sidney for that. At this point, with Sidney being on a reality TV show soon and doing music, that's going to become Sidney's, current topics of discussion. A lot of people either forgot about the Chingy situation, don't remember, or didn't even hear about it. So it would be in Sidney's best interest to act like that shit never happened. Just pretend like you don't even fucking know Chingy and just move on from that. Because a lot of people don't remember that shit or don't know about it. But working with R. Kelly is good for Sidney in one instance because he is very talented. With the type of reputation that R. Kelly has, I don't think that's a good idea for Sidney to deal with R. Kelly. There's other people that Sidney could be working with in order to, get the name Starlight, Sidney Starr, whatever name Sid is going by. So in that way, you get your career started and whatnot, but R. Kelly's not the one. But that's all my opinion. My only issue is I have no problem with Sidney making coins. I say, hey, Team Sidney Starr, go ahead and make that money. My issue with the whole situation is, what if it ruins Sidney's career fucking around with R. Kelly? Mr. P on you. Because that's what we, at this point, R. Kelly is the butt of a lot of people's jokes. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to shit on R. Kelly. Like I said, he's a talented guy. However, his reputation has basically surpassed his talent at this point. That's unfortunately what he's known for. That's just kind of what people think when they see him. They're like, whoa, might as well wear a fucking toilet seat as a necklace because this motherfucker's about to pee on me. Especially after Dave Chappelle did them goddamn skits of him shitting on people and peeing on. Oh my God. Anyways, enough about this. Enough about I'm just going off in all different directions. Anyway, the point is, I feel for Sidney because if you want your career to work out, I think he may be the wrong person for you to deal with. Just my advice. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more.